風俗に行くことは浮気かどうかっていう、どう思いますか？
浮気じゃない。
浮気じゃない。
何？
の
浮気ではない。
納得できる理由だったら、
怒るけど、言ってもまだ許せる。風俗なら。
Do you like consuming content like this? Like street interviews?
It depends.
Depends, right?
Depends.
I want to show you this video and I want to see your thoughts on
Okay.
it.
風俗に行くことは浮気かどうかっていう、どう思いますか？
浮気じゃない。
浮気じゃない。
気持ちの浮気は嫌なんですけど、まあ性欲の浮気は別に勝手にしてくれるんやったらいいかな。
一般人と連絡取れる間でやられるよりは、店でちゃんとしてもらった方がいいです。
She has a point there. Because like if you go to a prostitute, the husband will be spending this much only if he's going to be going for a prostitute versus to cheating with another girl. Because you know how it goes, right? If you're going to be cheating, it's like you're going to be courting all over again. It's like there's unlimited amount of expenditure if you're going to be cheating with a new girl.
Okay, so you're talking from a financial perspective
Yeah.
of the relationship on
Yeah.
cheating.
If you're going to be cheating with a prostitute versus cheating with just a regular girl.
Yes, of course, either or, you'd rather not have it.
No,
But
yeah,
if,
no,
if
no.
you're gonna be just discussing between the two, they would rather have their partners go to a prostitute. These two reminded me of a discussion that I've had with my wife. Like for her, cheating is cheating.
Yeah.
I agree. But there is like levels to cheating or extent
Yeah.
to cheating. Like I was telling some people, of course, would still get hurt if they get cheated on, right?
Yeah.
But it would sting less if the person is just promiscuous. They have several partners
Okay.
or several flings compared to when they have another partner that they are trying to juggle. I tell her it's like you're trying different meals.
Yeah.
You're trying
It's like a
different
buffet.
ulam. But you're always gonna go home to your favorite ulam.
Yeah.
And now seeing these ladies kinda felt like it furthers my point.
And it's crazy because like this is from an Eastern country, but their mindset, their views on prostitution or cheating, it's just on a different level.
Well, you can look at it that way because it's a conservative country, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a chauvinistic society where it's going to be the men who are the pillars. For them, they have no choice but
To accept that.
To accept that.
Yeah.
Because it's a conservative society. It's always going to be about the man.
The men, yeah. The first girl on the right is saying that
It does
she-
not count. as
yeah, it
cheating.
does not count if it's just for sex. But isn't it sex is like the ultimate level of affection?
There's people who will look
Who
at it
think-
that way.
'Cause me, I look
Normally,
at it that way.
normally that's how it should be looked at. But there's also people who are going to look at it as like just an exercise.
Just casual.
Just
Okay.
casual. But is your partner going to think that way?
Not my partner. Not my wife.
Of course, if it was known from the beginning of the relationship, then it's all right.
Yeah.
Say you have a partner. At the beginning of the relationship, you tell her, okay, sex is just casual to me.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like it. She's gonna dip.
Yeah.
Like right away.
I don't know. Maybe they're thinking that I would rather let my husband cheat with the prostitute versus losing him.
In a way, yes.
In a way, right? So I don't know. But yeah. And then second thing that I noticed, the girl left is saying that she would rather have a prostitute to fuck her husband than a random girl. So I'm not sure in Japan how regulated the prostitutes are. Do they have like medical tests, like
Yeah.
medical certificate? In
Amsterdam,
Amsterdam,
yeah.
prostitutes are like that because they pay taxes.
And then they have
Like they have medical
licensure
certificates.
exams.
That I don't know.
Professional.
Professionals.
Yes. なんかわざわざ風俗に行く意味がわからない。
That's the more usual
Yeah,
take
answer.
on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why my man's gonna be going to a prostitute.
Yes. Some people would think that something is lacking with me.
Yeah, with me.
That's why they had to go to
A prostitute.
a prostitute, or it doesn't even have to be prostitute.
Or
Sometimes
just cheating with another girl, right? With a random girl.
sometimes it doesn't have to be a girl.
A guy.
Sometimes it doesn't have to be a person. Sometimes it's an activity.
Yeah.
Like say, I have a friend.
Okay.
I can understand if his wife will start complaining and say, why does my husband prefer to go play pickleball than to spend time with me.
Okay, all right.
So, in a way, it could be seen as cheating.
Yeah.
In a way, instead of spending time with me, you are looking to spend time with someone else.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's justified, but some people can look at it that way.
Yeah. Which I think it's gonna be a problem in the long run, right?
Yes.
Because like I think there's something wrong with the girl too, with the wife.
Okay.
Because why
Why?
like why is she questioning?
And why are you
Like,
grinning like
oh
that?
no. I'm just this is my opinion.
Okay,
This
but
is-
yeah, but why are you laughing while
This is
you
my
are stating
opinion.
your
No, I'm just stating what I feel and my
Yes.
opinion about this. Cause
Okay.
like, why would you compare yourself to an activity, right? That's just me.
Yes.
Yeah. There's
But-
something wrong. There's something wrong with the relationship
Okay.
if she's gonna think of it that way. But anyways, yeah, let's go back.
Okay.
Let's not get sidetracked.
秘密にしてたらあれだけど、まあ情に恋とかしなければいいじゃん。
With her saying that as long as he doesn't hide it.
As long
That's,
as there's no feelings.
as long as there's no feelings, as long as there's no secrecy, that's when it becomes cheating. When it's outside of the agreement.
But still, it's like you're telling the guy or the girl that it's okay. Go ahead. Go hit it up with the prostitute. I think you should be having boundaries. Well, that's me. That's my.
Yes.
I know.
But-
We're from a different culture,
Yes.
but still.
But if it's part of the agreement,
yeah.
me personally, I'm like you. I'm not gonna do it that way.
I think this is tradition. They're so used to letting the men
The men have their
cheat
way.
and have their way with a prostitute or whatever.
You're saying that they might say that it doesn't count as cheating, but
Yeah.
it's like Stockholm syndrome where they are just forced unconsciously to subdue because of chauvinistic
Yeah.
reasons. But I understand that as long as there's no secrecy, there's
There's
no
no
hidden
feelings.
as long as it's still in the agreement.
Well, that's how I don't know. Like being a guy, that's how feelings start. It's because you're talking to another person, may it be a girl or a boy, and now you're opening the doors of a relationship, even though it's just a prostitute.
Well,
Unless they're so used to banging prostitutes in Japan.
well, again, there comes the agreement.
Yeah.
Like say you have an agreement with your partner that okay, you can't give me this
Yeah.
and then I'll go looking for this part of the relationship outside of our confines.
Yeah.
And then the agreement with the other party is what I'm looking for with you is just going to be within what I don't see in my
partner, yeah.
So if it goes past the agreement for both sides, it's cheating. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying as long as it's agreed upon, it's not cheating. It may seem immoral, but
Yeah.
it's not cheating if it is agreed upon.
Oh, okay.
It-
Gotcha. But me, I believe in prevention is better than cure.
You're talking about immorality now.
Immorality and
What's right and wrong.
yeah, I'm talking about immorality and also you letting this behavior happen. I know even if there's gonna be agreement that there's no feelings that's gonna happen, there might be. Like you're just giving a chance for a feeling that's gonna spark by you letting your partner have a relationship with a prostitute.
If that's the case, feelings start to develop,
Yeah.
but you're still open with it and then you leave. It's not cheating.
Yeah.
So if
Well, I
we're
guess,
talking
yeah.
about consequences,
Yeah.
I get your point. But if we're talking about strictly cheating, does it count as cheating? For me, no, because you are still within the confines of the agreement.
And then
You-
once there's feelings developed, you're gonna tell your partner, sorry, we need to
yes,
split.
because you can't hold up the end
yeah,
of your bargain
I
anymore.
broke our rule.
So it sucks, but it doesn't count as cheating. Because
Oh, okay.
once you can't hold up the end of your bargain, it's like you're terminating the contract.
Yeah.
浮気ではない。隠さなければ浮気じゃない。浮気するなら風俗に行けって言ったことあります。金払えばいいよって言ったことあります。新しいね、出会いじゃなくて、お金払って言ってるなら別にいいから。
So again, she said it's okay as long as he doesn't hide it.
Yeah.
So again, part of the agreement. I mean, these girls probably when it happens, they're gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
But for them, probably hindsight 2020, if it's gonna happen, I'd rather have this happen like this instead of me being replaced with somebody and then they're gonna have affection for it. That's what I pick up from
Yeah.
what they're saying. Of course, it's still gonna suck.
Yeah.
Still gonna suck. But for them, especially the other girl who said it's okay, he
As
pays
long
money.
as he pays.
It's transactional at
Yeah.
least. It can be looked as transactional.
Business.
But what if, here's the thing, what if the guy goes to one prostitute
Yeah.
time and time again?
Even if you're paying.
I guess that's when the lines start to get blurred.
The interviewer should have asked that.
But then
That's a good question.
That's like extra caveats now.
Yeah. Like, why are you going to the same prostitute?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna say, oh, because I know she's safe.
it's
See, we're still healthy.
That's
And
what-
she knows what I want.
Do you get that transaction like every night? For you to
That's the
be sure that you're the only one that she's getting into? I
Yeah.
highly
I
doubt
don't know, yeah.
most people would have that kind of money. Most regular people.
Yeah. Well, it's
It
like
gets-
going to a massage, right? It's like going for a massage therapist. If you really like this person, you would be going back and forth. Because like if it's transactional,
Yeah.
I don't wanna teach the person time and time again on how to do things. If it's sexually or whatever the service that's gonna be, they know what I want.
Well, let's make it less intimate.
Okay.
Barber.
Barber. Okay,
barber.
alright. A barber. Yeah. Okay, let's go to something more like less intimate.
Okay.
A barista. Like
Oh, because
Right?
or a
or
bartender.
like a coffee shop or a bartender.
Because
Right?
they know how to make.
Yeah,
your
you don't
drink.
even need to tell your order. Or a server. Like us when we went to Mexico. Like we always want to go to this restaurant because of this certain server. Because he knows how we dine there. He knows the drinks
Okay.
that I want. He knows the food that I want. He knows like when to bring shots. He knows when to bring the food. So the same thing, right? I would rather go to the same, but sexually, prostitute, of course, you wanna, if you want, like you wanna try different flavors, right?
Well,
Like, try different things. This is not food that we're talking about.
I guess I'm gonna feel a certain type of way if, like, the partner keeps going to the same
Yeah,
provider.
that's true too.
So as long as it's agreed upon,
Yeah.
it would not be cheating. I would say I'm gonna feel a certain type of way. I'm gonna tell the partner, okay, stop doing that.
Yeah, that's yeah.
'Cause
You've
you're
been
getting-
going there too much.
You're getting close, like,
Yeah.
or try to get another provider because you're getting pretty close to, like, having somebody else besides me.
Yeah.
Like buffet, sure, but you keep going to one ulam. That's
Yeah.
I think that's a different kind of discussion.
I thought I'm the only ulam, right?
Yeah.
既読できる理由だったら浮気とは思わないかも。
例えば、どういう、
付き合い？
例えば上司とかの、
See,
Companionship.
now she's talking about not just
Yeah,
prostitution.
Yeah.
It's pretty much anything else besides her.
Like that's a different thing.
Yeah.
It means that your partner is no longer having fun or doesn't have any interest in being with you. That's why they are looking for someone else.
But then again, it still goes back to
The level of
this,
cheating.
and this would count as cheating regardless of what level if this is part of the agreement. If the agreement is, okay, you are going to stick with me, we're going to spend time together, but then you feel like I'm not getting entertained as from before
Yeah.
when we started dating, and you felt like that was part of the agreement, that you will be amused, you would still feel the way that you felt from the
Yeah.
start of the relationship. Is it agreed upon for you to stay or to find a different place of amusement when it's starting to fade?
Or maybe it's the way of these girls to compare themselves. Let their partner compare them to the prostitutes. So that way, okay, go ahead.
You want
Let's
to go
see.
there.
Let's see if you're gonna have fun and compare how good I am. Right? So that way they can reignite their intimacy. You know what I mean?
Well,
Does that make sense?
yeah, but then if they get compared like poorly, if
Well,
they,
that's the problem.
and then their
It
egos
means-
are gonna
yeah.
get hurt.
Yeah.
Regardless which gender. Of course, males will get their pride hurt. For sure.
Yeah.
Because we are egotistical beasts.
Beast.
I don't know. Regardless, if you get compared poorly, it's easy to assume that you are gonna get hurt. And how much hurt can you take?
Yeah.
怒るけど、言ってもまだ許せる。風俗なら。
なんか日本ならではのなんか文化じゃないけど、やっぱり有名じゃないですか。風俗とかっていうのが。そういう意味では日本ならではで、そう。
I like how she said it. Finally, someone said it. That maybe it's only in Japan. That their prostitution is kind of like normal, maybe. But is it legal in Japan?
I'm not sure. But I would say this would be common in chauvinistic society. I would say this is the first girl said she would get upset, but it's still acceptable.
Yeah.
I would say it's not acceptable. It's just conforming.
Yeah.
Because that's the societal norm. Again, as I
You have
said
to let
earlier,
them.
Stockholm Syndrome, where you don't have a choice. See, she'll get upset, but what choice does he have? It's either leave, get out of the contract, get out of the agreement, either that or deal with being upset.
Yeah. Now I'm curious what the statistics of self-harm that's happening in Japan. Is it the men or women that's doing it more? I think it's the men, but
Well,
I'm not sure. Because if society treats women like this in Japan, I don't know. It's just, I feel bad.
From what I've absorbed from the internet, they got a pretty high self-deletion rate, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's because of relationships. I think it's mostly about
Work,
societal
toxic culture,
societal expectations with your career and with your life. But it's not mostly about relationships. That's what I've absorbed. I might be wrong, but
Or maybe it adds up too, right? If you have a good relationship, if you have a good partner that's going to listen to you, there's less chance of you self-deleting yourself.
it's easier to deal with the rough edges of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But I would say if there's a street interview like this in the province, in the Philippines, they would have the same answers.
Possibly.
As long as they come home with
Yeah.
the money that our family needs. It's fine. It's not fine,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'd let them.
I would rather, I would
Yeah.
rather let,
Metro, probably you're
like
probably
the-
gonna
no.
find liberated
women,
empowered women,
woke women.
who would say yes that it would
Yeah.
count as cheating.
I would rather be alone than having
Yeah.
a man that's gonna be cheating on me.
Yeah,
That's
like
what they're
no
gonna say.
nuances whatsoever. But I would say the more conservative you get, not understanding, but the more tolerant you
Yeah.
would be with these expectations of a chauvinistic society. But again, Japan, conservative culture, still chauvinistic, even though they are getting modern with technology,
They're still behind
societal.
in some
And
stuff.
some people would say it's behind. Some people would say, "Oh, we should
It's
conserve
advanced,
this." Not advanced, but we should keep this kind
Yeah.
of society. But regardless, I kind of agreed. There are extents to cheating. I'm not going to say any form of cheating is right, but it's going to be up to you if you can tolerate whatever they do not follow from your agreement. Any transgression that you make over the mutual agreement, that's going to be cheating.
Yes.
Now, are you going to allow it? It's up to you if you
It's
want
up to you. Yeah, my takeaway, it piqued my interest back to Japayukis. I wonder what they're doing.
Entertainers.
Entertainers?
Entertainers.
Okay, all right.
Press release. That's a press release.
Okay.
They're
all right.
entertainers.
Okay.
If they're escorts, it's speculation.
Okay.
It's an accepted. I don't know. It's common chismis.
Okay. I'm still waiting to have that documentary of Japayukis. If no one wants to do it, I'll fund it.
You just want to.
I just need
wanna get a
I just need the
Japayuki.
Japayuki to share her story.
Yeah, what they did really for
What they
money.
did, yeah.
But yeah, again, you got Edmund here,
You got me 2X.
and this is Twice the D.